India versus South Africa, second T20I, which takes place at, look, I practice my pronunciation. I think you pronounce it Khebekha. I think Sean Pollock will have to probably give his verdict on whether I nailed the pronunciation or not, but we'll wait for his verdict. But before that, I'll get your verdict on what you guys are looking forward to for the second T20 that comes up. The first one washed out. Do you make any changes going into the second one?
I don't think so. I don't think India would be making any changes, unless the conditions are completely different than what they were here in Durban. So, yes, there are 17 players. The two T20Is, you choose. I'm sure there must have been playing 11 decided before this game. So I don't see any changes. We don't even know who's going to play or who's not, because there are a lot of questions here. Definitely, Mohammad Siraj going to make a comeback. There is Kuldeep Yadav making a comeback, and you've got Ravi Bishnoi also, who's now number 1 ranked leg spinner bowler in the world. So whether you will go with 2 wrist spinners or not. So those kind of things, we're looking forward to it. The kind of template which we were talking about, what is something which India is there in their mind. That's something which we'll get to see in second game now.
Yeah, and as you said, of course, we didn't know what the starting lineup was for this game, what the starting 11 was. But Zach, for the second ODI, there are a couple of spots in the opening order. 3 players contesting for the spots: Shubman Gill, Yashasvi Jaiswal, and you have also Ruturaj Gaikwad. Who would you want to go with? I guess Shubman Gill and someone else. And who would you pick as the someone else?
Well, I think looking at the continuity and whatever we've been seeing, I think maybe Ruturaj might miss out. Yashasvi and Shubman Gill will start. Shreyas possibly will be coming at number 3. Then Surya. You'll have to see, whether Tilak is going to come in or not at that position, but you will definitely need a keeper. So Jitesh possibly will take that spot. You have Rinku at number 6, and then that will be followed by 5 bowlers. So Aksar's place will be taken by Ravindra Jadeja is what we are expecting. Ravi Bishnoi is someone who they should continue with, because that gives you flexibility as well. He bowls in the power play. If you go for Kuldeep, he doesn't bowl in the power play, so that should be the thought process there. We'll have to wait and see how the team decides. But that's what I'm gauging from the squad. Siraj comes back, so Siraj will be there. Mukesh was superb with the ball. So I think Siraj, Mukesh, and then they'll have to choose between Deepak and Ashdeep is what you're thinking. So that's by and large the stack up of the playing 11 from this squad. You're just getting the glimpses of that, feeling of that. We'll have to wait and see. But the decision in the top order, like you rightly said, the decision around the wrist spinner, what Parthiv was talking about, whether you want to go with number 1 ranked right now, Bishnoi, the flexibility, whether you're looking at that. Surya, we've seen, have been very fond of using Bishnoi in the power play. So as soon as the pressure was coming onto him, he was feeling that comfort in bringing Bishnoi, changing the pace of the game. With Aksar also, we've seen he was using him in that power play. So with Ravindra Jadeja, is he looking at following the same template in his captaincy or not? We'll have to see in the series. That will be the continuity of what we've seen from Surya in the series against Australia.
Absolutely. And if you were part of the management, Parthiv, would you go for something similar to what Zach said? So Ruturaj Gaikwad with Shubman Gill up the order, stick with Ravi Bishnoi because he had such a stellar series against Australia. Now, of course, the number 1 ranked T20 bowler in the world. And you see Mohammad Siraj making a comeback as well, as Zach said.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I also see that Yashasvi Jaiswal and Shubman Gill will to start with. Ruturaj Gaikwad might just miss out. And then the kind of playing 11 which Zach just mentioned, and obviously from last series, if you don't play Ravi Bishnoi, that means you're taking out both the bowlers who are bowling 4 overs in power play. That was Akshar Patel and Ravi Bishnoi. So I think that's where the continuity makes a big difference, especially to a young player who's had a good series. If you give him that continuity, then that confidence grows, and when a wrist spinner needs that confidence, we all know how well Kuldeep Yadav has bowled in recent past. So there's nothing new we have to see. That his confidence is definitely back. So I think I would back here Ravi Bishnoi and Yashasvi Jaiswal, both of them in this playing 11.
Brilliant. And moving on to the South African side of the ledger, India, of course, have 5 T20Is before the start of the World Cup and before they can actually announce their squad. But South Africa, even though they might have 5 T20Is before the World Cup, they only have 2 more left before they announce this squad, because the tour against the West Indies takes place right before the World Cup. Looking at South Africa's squad for the first 2 T20Is, so something interesting that they've done is that Marco Jansen, Gerald Coetzee and Lungi Ngidi are just available for the first couple of T20Is, because then they prepare for the red ball leg of the tour. And so, keeping this in mind, and given the fact that we saw all of those players available for the first T20Is, I'm guessing these players that I just mentioned, Marco Jansen, Gerald Coetzee, are a surety because it's the last match.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you are expecting. Rabada is not there right now, so they'll have to fill that spot for sure. Lungi Ngidi, as you mentioned, is not going to be there for the whole series.
And I believe he's ruled out as well.